Hello friends, today we are not going to talk about objection handling, but also it's something very important which you need to do, and that is called as a closing technique. Again, my dear friend, I am not talking about manipulating. Lot of closing techniques are there where you manipulate, you try to you try to make the person somehow take a decision. The objective here is not that. Please remember that life insurance is a long-term contract. It has to have the ability and the desire of the person to pay these premiums over a long period of time. And therefore, all the jugglery that we do, trying to close and have some kind of techniques, I am not really talking about those techniques. I am talking about a very serious and very important technique which actually helps the person to make a very informed decision. Because please remember, if you don't sell the policy the right way the first time, then it's not going to work. You have to be right the first time, because the minute you are right the first time, you will have a lot of you will not have a problem in the renewal. When you go for the renewal, clients will be very clear in their mind why they took the policy and what is the benefit of the policy. So that is the reason why it's very important that you do this. Whatever you do, please do not manipulate. Please don't use techniques which are closing technique to somehow. See, a lot of people are there, a lot of trainers are there who are teaching people the closing techniques which is related to the, they come from the tangible market product. They come from, Eureka Forbes, they come from other places where they were into this tangible marketing, and those things work there. It's all right there because it's a one time, it's a transaction. It's not a relationship. Please understand, this is a transaction, it's not a relationship. And therefore, it's very important that if this is a relationship, it's a long period of time. It's not just ending with one sale, which happens in normally all the other product, tangible product market. This is basically a service, and therefore, we need to be very psychologically clear that the customer is very psychologically clear about buying this policy, because it's very important. So what we do, this video is about the Benjamin Franklin T method. Okay, it's called the Benjamin Franklin T method, which will help you to close very effectively. And this is not just about closing life insurance policies. It is about also helping you take a lot of decision. This technique can be used whenever you are confused about what decision to take. You have two options and then you want to know which decision you should take. You can use the Benjamin Franklin method. It's not just for your professional life or for your insurance career, but it is also for your personal life. Any decision that you make, if you can do it in the Benjamin Franklin method, then it will be very helpful for you. So what happens, suppose there are two decisions you have to take, any two decisions. I'll tell you from the personal perspective first. If you have two decisions, like I had to make this decision in 2001 when I joined Birla Sun Life Insurance as a branch head. I had to leave my fledgling insurance MDRT career and go to work as a manager in the insurance company, and I decided to do that because I wanted to be in training. I wanted to get the exposure of private insurance companies, what they do, how they do, and because otherwise I was not inside the company, I was outside, and I wanted to be inside the company to learn, and therefore I took the decision. So there were two decisions. One is that I should join Birla Sun Life as a branch manager. The second decision is that I should remain as an insurance agent and continue doing my work. So what I did was, I took a plain sheet of paper, drew a line across it, and wrote on the left hand side advantages and wrote on the right hand side disadvantages, and I write joining Birla Sun Life Insurance as a branch manager. Then I wrote what are all the advantages that I see if I join Birla Sun Life, and on the right hand side I wrote all the disadvantages that might happen. Like the disadvantage was like LIC may stop my renewal commission, my financial may get affected, like that various things. I wrote on the advantages on the left side, disadvantages on the right side. The other page which that I continue to be a life insurance agent. So what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages, of just remaining and not joining the Birla Sun Life Insurance, and what are the benefits that I will get? I wrote that advantages and disadvantages. My dear friend, once I compared those 2 pages and just read it, the decision was very clear and simple to me, and I took the decision to leave LIC, join Birla Sun Life as a branch head, because the benefit far outweighed the advantages far outweighed the disadvantages, and that is all history now. I worked, I had a very stupendous career for about 4 years in Birla Sun Life Insurance, and lot of the things that I am able to think is because I got trained by Sun Life Canada in those 3 years, and that is the reason why lot of my content which was there, I could polish it and bring it out in a more better manner. Now when I go to the client, how do I use this for a client? For the client, what happens is that at the time of closing, he is not able to be very clear about whether he should buy the policy or not, and there is a flip flop. He is afraid, he has fear, he is worried whether he'll be able to pay the premium in the future. So there are a lot of feelings, and they are all very real feelings. We should understand it. Don't kind of give it less weightage. This is what the customer is feeling, and you need to know about it. So what you do is you draw a line. Same thing, take a piece of take a A4 size paper, put a line across, and buy this life insurance policy. Write down what are the advantages and what are the disadvantages, and you ask the customer, sir, what are the advantages of buying this product, and you just write down as he is informing you, and then tell him what are the disadvantages, so he can write that. The second would be if he doesn't buy the policy, if he doesn't buy the policy, what would be the advantages and what would be the disadvantages? He will himself tell you, and you just write. Now what happens is, when this is in black and white, the whole advantage of one decision, the whole advantage of another decision, the whole disadvantage of one decision, and the disadvantage of another decision, both these things are in front of the client, I think he'll be in a much better position to really understand this more concretely. It will stick into his mind because everything will be black and white, and he can keep that paper. And please remember, file this paper along with that policy, because every time a thought comes to him, it always happens to all of us. We buy a house, or we sell something, or we do something, and at the end of the day, sometimes we feel we made a mistake. But at that point in time, if you again read this page, you will be reaffirmed that that decision was absolutely right, and you will not be in a very different negative mood. So this to paper you should file with the policy and give it to the client. So whenever the client is opening the file, he can read what are the advantages and disadvantages, and he will smile to himself that he took a good decision. If you are going to do this, I guarantee you that most of the cases which are stuck, where people are not able to really decide finally, they will be able to decide it very, very clearly, distinctively. They will have absolute clarity in their mind what this policy is going to do. People don't buy life insurance. They buy life insurance for what it does, for not what it is, So therefore, this Benjamin Franklin T method will help you to avoid any confusion, solve any confusion of the client, and make it absolutely clear to him that it is a very beneficial kind of thing, So if you have liked this content, if you like the content of this video, please comment, please press the like button. If you have still not subscribed, please subscribe, because you will get notification and all. We are going to come out with some very amazing content, so please subscribe. Also, please don't forget to share this video with your development officer and agent and advisor friend, because they will always be very happy with you, because you have done this. And finally, if you want any other topics that we should consider for videos, or if you have some objections which we have not covered, please mention in the comment box, and we will definitely make videos on that. Thank you.